Recently, my Dark Souls journey has come to an end, and with it, I can definitely say it's up there as one of my favorite FromSoft titles. This is going to be a part 2 continuing off from where the last Dark Souls video I did. So after the Four Kings, I was at a crossroad. I didn't know where to go next and what to expect, so I looked online to see what areas I should be leveled for and what would be good for me to do to start. So I went to the Demon Ruins, to Lost Izalith, and the only thing I can be said about this is that people over-exaggerated this area like tenfold. I will say I shot myself in the foot not reading that I had the lava ring from the ceaseless discharge. Could have saved myself a lot of time in ruins. The run back to the bed of chaos was awful, yeah, but not the boss itself like you see other people comment on. I literally would have killed their first try too if it weren't for the fact that once you destroy those 2 orbs, I thought you jump down in the middle and not run across. I think it took me like 6 tries because of the run back, and I found out recently, like literally last night, that there's a closer bonfire than the one by Solaire. I appreciate it being a puzzle fight, as I haven't seen anything like it up until this point in game, and I love that it saves your progress within the fight, so if you die with only, say, 1 orb destroyed, it will still be destroyed on your next run. After the witch had perished though, there is a certain scaleless dragon calling my name, and I had also wanted to play the Artorias of the Abyss DLC, kind of a 2 birds with 1 stone kind of deal. Duke's Archives though, holy fuck, it's not like this area is hard or the enemies are too strong or anything. Like, they were relatively weak when I got there, but holy fuck does magic do a metric shit ton of damage in this game. Same thing goes with fire and lightning. It feels like I'm getting hit by Dante's Inferno and Zeus's Thunderbolt respectively. I did like how when you go up to Seath the first time, you can't do anything to him and he kills you. Then you wake up in a cell being guarded by man serpents, and I already explained how much I hate these fucks, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. So you have to escape from the cell by killing said man serpent guard and find the keys unlocking the small and large prison doors. You solve a small staircase slash maze puzzle contraption sort of thing to get from one level and side to the next, and after that it was a bonfire in the crystal cave. I can't be the only one who thinks that this area felt really short. I'm gonna say this now, but it feels like the second half, especially with a lot of these areas, feels start to end like you spawn here, take a few stairs, kill a few enemies, maybe a puzzle and a boss fight. I'm not spending hours exploring areas like I was at the beginning of the game. This run back wasn't terrible either, especially if you're playing the game online, as you just look for the soapstone messages, and I've personally dropped some myself on the invisible path. Seath himself was laughably a joke. This boss was so pathetic. I was purposely dying and coming back because I was trying to get the Moonlight Greatsword, which, by the way, I didn't even get it. After so many attempts, I just said fuck it, and the fight was over in like 45 seconds. After Seath, I had a certain princess waiting for me in the past, as I had already collected the broken pendant and killed the Hydra. I made my way back and started the DLC as I spawned in the Sanctuary Garden. That first boss, the Sanctuary Guardian, fuck that dude. I can see now that in Shadow of the Erdtree, the Divine Dancing Lion being a callback to this exact fight. This fight took me about 3 tries before I'm finally allowed to beat the boss and proceed to the hub where I met Elizabeth, and my god, she has a soothing voice. Like, a lot of the voice acting in this game is so well done and it's such well fitting. It really adds to the immersion in my opinion. I'm tasked with saving Princess Dusk from the clinches of the Abyss, and I was motivated. I was ready to save her. That was until I got to Artorias of the Abyss, and this dude is valid. Everything that anyone has said about this dude, it's all valid. This guy's no pushover, and the DLC really wants you to know that they are not fucking around. In the entirety of Dark Souls 1, it has to be these 2 motherfuckers that have actually given me the hardest time, not Ornstein and Smoke. The other boss I'm talking about is our guest of honor, Manus, the father of the Abyss. Like, if we actually analyze this for a second, in DS1, everything is slow paced. It kind of feels like I'm playing chess in a way. I hit an enemy, the enemy hits me, or I dodge. We take turns. Like, the point in this is that we have action points. These 2 bosses break that mold, as instead of taking 1 turn, 1 attack, dodge, etc., it's like they take more than 1 move in a single turn, which I consider this the turning point in which we slowly but started surely going into like the more fast-paced type of combat we would see in later Souls games. This is a relatively short DLC, but a memorable one, and Lucille will definitely be memorable for me from now on. If you want honesty, I don't know what the fuck to say about the catacombs because I had came in blind unintentionally because I had let Slayer died and never progressed his quests. I never got the sunlight maggot helm that people were telling me about, nor did I get any real source of light until the end of the catacombs transitioning into the Tomb of Giants. But until that point, my only source of light was from the distance of Lost Islith, was on the other side of the lake, and it gave some form of light and navigation with its like subtle red glow. The pathing here is pretty linear despite it being a catacomb, and Pinwheel was just a pitiful boss fight. I 3-tapped him with a +5 lightning gargoyle halberd, the same one that I got in the beginning of the game. I made my way into the tomb and found the blacksmith along the way, but I didn't change my weapons or anything because I was happy with what I had and where I was. But I did max the gold and silver tracer daggers that I got from Syrian, probably butchered that. I went straight to Nito. The minions he summons tickle. They're just purely for, like, they have to be for environmental purposes. Just props, and I shit you not, you can just ignore these guys and just go straight for Nito, which is what I did. And literally, just like almost every boss in this game, you can just go behind him or to the side, and it's like they just forget who or what they're even fighting. I collected my final Lord Soul and fed it to the Lord Vessel, which granted me access to the killing of the first flame. And I'm kinda happy that it's so straightforward because these last 3 bosses, minus the DLC, kinda felt underwhelming. That would be forgiven though, as once I reached the lower floor of the kiln and traversed through the fog gate and heard that tune, there's no cinematic, no quotes, nothing, just straight to action as he leaps at you with no time wasted. And I like that from him as the final boss. Like, I respect that. You, as the undead, have made this perilous journey in order to succeed Lord Gwyn, but he is not ready to put down the crown and relinquish his rule, his power, his authority. Gwyn took me 3 tries, but it felt like I attempted it 30 times, as Gwyn also breaks that mold we were talking about earlier regarding Artorias and Manus, in which it is still a nice change of pace with the slow and steady piano in the background. It makes for a really intense fight. It would have been cool to see him use the lightning that he's so famous for, as that's what I kind of expected that he would be immune to, which is why I was trying to get the Moonlight Greatsword. But still, fire burns hot and hell runs deep according to Gwyn. This game is phenomenal, and I'm glad I got to experience this at least once. Couldn't recommend it enough as it is now. I'm debating on starting DS3 or if I want to just change genres and play Persona 3 Remastered or the Reload. But we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. This has been Grief, and I'll see you guys later.